President Trump's cabinet starting to take shape. The Senate rushed from the inauguration to confirm Florida Senator Marco Rubio as Secretary of State on, listen to this, a unanimous vote. Rubio is the first Hispanic American to become America's top diplomat. We're happy to tell you that he's joining us now this morning. Mr. Secretary, good morning to you and congratulations. What was that vote again, Senator? Or Mr. Secretary, what was that vote again?
I think it was 99-0. We only have 99 senators right now because the vice president's vacancy hasn't been filled. So it's good. I mean, we covered the point spread. That's what matters.
It's 99-0. I think it speaks to how your colleagues feel about you and your talents. I'm curious, though, before we ask you about your job, what does this mean to you as a son of Cuban immigrants?
Well, you know, I mean, my entire life and career is influenced by the fact that my parents came here on May 27th, 1956. They didn't have anything except dreams of a better life, and they were able. The dream of their life was to give their kids the chance to do whatever they wanted. And to me, the road has brought me to this point. It's humbling, but I'm also focused on the important job that we do. I think it says more about America than it does about me. I mean, this is a country that time and again, and it's not just me. As you look throughout the cabinet and the personal stories of so many people that President Trump is going to have part of his team, I think it reminds us that this remains the one place on earth where anyone from anywhere can achieve anything. And,
all right, well, let's focus on your job,
We have to do a
Mr.
good job,
Secretary.
and it's a hard job.
Well, it is a hard job, and a lot of people are counting on you. Let's start with, really want to start with those January 6 pardons, because many people believe, including the American people, we're not in favor of these blanket pardons. You know, Team Trump had been saying it was going to be taken on a case-by-case basis. That did not appear to be the case. It appears blanket pardons. What message do you think that sends to people around the world about what we stand for?
Well, I think what we stand for is going to be clear in the actions the president's taken. He's outlined it yesterday. He said that all our foreign policy is going to be about promoting peace and making America strong, prosperous, and safe. That's what our foreign policy should always be about. Our foreign policy, once again, needs to focus on the national interest of the United States. We're not seeking to harm any other country, but my singular focus is to ensure that the priority of the United States Department of State is the United States and what's best for our country. And that's what we're going to be focused on. As part of this transition to this new job, I'm not going to be opining or focused on domestic politics, not because they don't matter, but because our focus has to be singularly on how do we secure America's interests all over the world. My first meeting's today. As soon as I walk in the office, we're going to be meeting with the foreign ministers of important allies in Japan and India and Australia. The
but
so-called
Senator,
Quad,
let's stick to this for just a second.
Much
Only
of the
because
21st century's history is going to be written.
I hear you, but in February 2021, even you issued a statement and you said the images of the attack stirred up anger in you. The nation was embarrassed in the eyes of the world by our own citizens. How do you personally reconcile those feelings with the pardons that he did yesterday? I understand you have work to do in the job as far as there are many things, but on this particular issue, I'm curious about what you're thinking.
Yeah, well, what I'm thinking is that I used to be a United States Senator until midnight last night, and now I'm about to be sworn in as the Secretary of State of the United States. And that's what I'm thinking is I work for Donald J. Trump, the new President of the United States, the 47th President, who has a clear mandate to reorient our foreign policy to one that once again puts America and our interests at the center. And that's what I'm going to focus on, 100%.
So, Mr. Secretary, let's talk about a definite foreign policy matter, the fragile truce between Israel and Hamas. Last night in the Oval Office, the president said he was not confident that ceasefire would hold. Now, that might just be a description of reality. We've been saying it's fragile, but is there something in particular he has in mind? Are you confident it will hold? If not, why not?
Well, I'm hoping and praying it'll hold. But remember, on October 6th, there was a ceasefire in place between Israel and Hamas. October 7th was a violation of that. So when you're dealing with a terrorist organization that has committed atrocities and motivated by all kinds of evil, I don't think you can go in it very confident that things will hold in the long term. We're always overjoyed to see 3 hostages freed, reunited with their families, hopefully more on the way. We want it to work out. We think there's the broader hope of peace in that region with all kinds of agreements that are possible today that were even unfathomable just 90 days ago before the events in Lebanon and Syria and the work Israel has done to create stability as well with its acts against Iran. So we're hopeful, but I think we have to be realistic about who we're dealing with here. These are not good people in Hamas.
Secretary Rubio, one of the many things that President Trump said during his campaign run was that he would end the war in Ukraine on day one. That did not happen. How do you reconcile with the fact that he made a lot of promises and now it might be up to you and the team to keep these promises?
Yeah, like I think the promise the president made, really, if you look at it, is it's going to be the priority. It's going to be the official policy of the United States that the war in Ukraine needs to come to an end. It is a stalemate. It's a war and it's a conflict that was started by Russia. But it is now a stalemate, a protracted and bloody conflict, been incredibly destructive. I would argue for both Russia and Ukraine, but Ukraine is paying the biggest price of all. To its energy infrastructure, to the people and lives that have lost, to the millions of Ukrainians that have had to leave their countries and are living overseas. The conflict needs to end. And it's the policy of the United States that we want it to end. We want to do everything we can to help it end. We are going to engage in making it end and in a way that is sustainable, meaning we don't just want the conflict to end and then restart in 2, 3, or 4 years down the road. We want to bring stability. We have a lot of important and pressing issues around the world, and I think everyone should wake up this morning and be very happy that we have elected as our 47th president a man in Donald J. Trump that wants to promote peace in the world and bring it to the end of these conflicts.
All right, Secretary Marco Rubio, thank you for joining us. We appreciate you.